And we're
Hello,
live.
and we're live. Hello, and welcome to the first edition of the Real Original podcast.
Couple of friends was trying it out after 3 years of throwing around the idea. We've been talking about it, and we have a lot of dumb stuff to say that we figure everyone else needs to hear too. So
Yeah, we really hate our jobs, so that's another thing.
we're not in it for the money, though. We're just here to share laughs and good times and what we think about stupid stuff.
Hopefully, we can add a little bit of humor into it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So my name's Hector. I live in Wyoming because it is real, and I can attest to that.
Maybe. I'm not so sure about that yet, but
I grew up here and I am married and I have just been trying to figure out what to do, and here we are. So
yeah, I'm almost in the same boat. Yeah, just nothing much going on, just work, and we're going to try this out and see how it goes.
yeah, no expectations, just a couple of guys having fun, spouting off our ideas, wanting something to put some energy towards. So, but yeah, so first topic that we have here is so the idea is to go through a few different topics that we both find interesting and kind of bounce off of each other and kind of express how we feel.
And it'll probably change quite a bit as we go and figure things out. And of course, our equipment will get better and we won't sound like this.
Yeah, if it sounds bad, that's we're basically like building a computer in our garage, essentially. So we're starting from scratch.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so we both pretty much like the same stuff. We do a lot of fun stuff. We like to ride dirt bikes and surf and all kinds of random stuff. I wouldn't say for me personally, I don't have like one specific hobby that I'm good at.
Yeah, we kind of just have a million hobbies and we're kind of good at all of them, not the best. And that's kind of how it goes when you have 500 different hobbies, you know?
The way I'd say is jack of all trades, master of none.
Exactly.
We just kind of go as the seasons go. So, but yeah, so our first topic today is the idea, or the concept of following through on an idea. So to me, that means like coming up with something, going through it in your head, and actually taking the first step. And it's hard to do. It's hard to do, especially something big. You know, for us, this podcast is that. You know, this is an idea we've had that we're gonna try and follow through, and it is super surreal that we're actually trying it and we're here doing it after 3 years of.
Yeah, I've really never followed through on any of my ideas, but yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah, so we have, you get big ideas and you try and figure out how to make it work, but you don't know where to start. And I think what you start to bog yourself down with you look at the whole journey and you're like, wow, that's so many steps. That's 15,000 steps or whatever, so many miles to get there. But I think it's important to just focus on the first step in front of you and keep your goal in mind, of course, but focus on that first step and just evaluate it. If it's something that you really are interested in or enjoy, I think you should go after it.
Yeah, and you really don't even have to dive into the deep end. You just dip your toe in, as we are doing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you dip your toe in, feel how the water feels, if the temperature's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just give it a shot and try it out and see how it goes. I've always found it tough to follow through on ideas. I don't know about you, but
oh yeah, I've just kind of been in the rut of working through the week and just making money for the weekend, basically, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'd have to say that's been my mindset too for many years as well.
Yeah, really no goal in mind, just going through and doing it.
Yeah,
and
I sometimes I'll get like these really big ideas and I start to bog myself down, and I'm like, and I think it's just that looking at the whole journey and being like, whoa, that's not going to work. Like that, there's no way. It's not going to become anything. It's a waste of time. you just bog yourself down and you don't try anything. So I don't know. I think it's hard to step out of that. Coming out of your shell, that's kind of a big part of that. Like,
it's more like you're creating just a rut that you follow in, like a 2-track road, and you're just in that. And to get up out of that's kind of tough. Mm-hmm. But once you hop out of there,
yeah, I'd have to agree.
Maybe some better things will happen,
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Like the mindset where we live is like, you got to make money, as much money as possible, and you got to do it by getting a 9 to 5 and doing that for however many years. Build up your 401k.
7 to 5:30.
Yeah. Yep. And it's almost like the people don't see any other option except for the one way. And so it kind of, growing up, you hear that all the time, like, oh, there's only one way to do it, and that's it. And so it's hard to like see any other path or try any other path, because you're like, well, I've always heard that it's only the one way that's going to work, and so that's your mindset,
Yep. And just trying to do something else. I guess everybody sees the goal as in getting a family, buying a house. And of course that stuff gets tougher and tougher as time goes on. And yeah, maybe there's some other better way.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that,
who knows what that is,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's many paths you can take. It's just hard to push yourself to try a different path that you are not comfortable with, or that you don't know works, Yeah, so like I've experienced recently a lot of pushback on trying different things, about like big decisions and changing things and trying things. For me, a lot of people just say that like you might just be quitting because it's getting hard. And I think that's something to watch out for too. Like, while you're following through on your idea, don't just give up on it because it gets difficult. But if you're miserable every day, I think you should be able to pull the plug on it for sure.
Yeah. Don't give in to what other people are saying too. They're saying don't give up on it, and you're really just miserable pushing through, and it's like walking through snow waist deep. Sometimes you just need to fucking turn around and do something else, go a different path where you're not fucking bogged down like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's definitely true, because you don't want to be stuck being miserable your whole life. And I think my life is all, like, a lot of it is mindset. You can really change a lot of situations from good to bad, but I think if you're in that rut every day and you can't find any joy or anything to hold on to, and you're just hopeless, like, for example, working in a regular 9 to 5 job, like, I think changing it or expressing your feelings is a great thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like if you, yeah, I think that, like, once you find something that you love, every day is not going to be easy, but you're going to have the motivation to push through those tough times,
Yeah, definitely. If you have an attainable goal, it's helpful pushing through stuff.
Yeah.
But, we'll probably try to get into more fun topics. We're getting deep already, like, holy cow.
Well, we don't really want to outline this, so we're just having fun talking about what we think, and I think we're just trying to bounce off of each other.
Kind of give our opinions on stuff, and
yeah.
No,
that was just really what I wanted to say about it. So.
Yeah.
No,
especially there's a lot of life change going around in both of our lives.
Yeah.
At this moment.
I listened to a really good video this morning about, or it was yesterday, sorry, about like how all these people are quitting their jobs, and like how it is tough to work the workforce, but I think you can pick apart each segment of your life and like try and figure out how you can make that work better to your advantage.
Oh yeah. Really just
Yeah, there's a lot to it. I don't know, we kind of got off topic there, but yeah, following through on an idea, it's tough. It's definitely tough.
It's tough. Kind of society puts blinders on you, and you're kind of just walking down the path.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's crossroads in that path, and sometimes you got to take those.
Yeah. Scared to take the leap, but I think it's definitely, I think that you won't regret trying something new, for sure.
And you definitely got to you just got to get into it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have the best everything, getting started. And you just kind of got to start somewhere and get into it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Otherwise, you're never going to. If you're always like, oh, I just got to save up this much money to get to that point. Well, stuff's going to happen. And you just got to take the cheapest option somehow to jump in and do it.
Yeah, like you and I with our podcast ideas, and you and I have had many ideas of what we want to do, of like how we want to try and figure it out. We've been friends for a long time. We're actually also cousins, but we started hanging out a bunch a few years ago, and since then we've kind of thrown around these ideas and never for some reason never really took the step. But once we actually sat down and figured it out and found a common ground, we were able to figure it out pretty fast, and what we wanted, and what we kind of the goals that we wanted to set, and what we're kind of expecting. So no, I think it's fun. I'm glad that we're finally doing it. But we've thrown around a lot of dumb ideas that just got lost in the sauce, for sure.
Yeah, we always have real long conversations that are always very interesting, and it'd be nice to record them and have them later, for reflection and whatnot.
Well, I think the biggest thing is that we think we're funny, and figure that maybe other people do too. But if not,
that we're doing all that funny stuff right now. We're like talking like deep in the soul already. Like,
well,
holy cow.
I think the reason we picked these topics is to bounce off of each other on like something we say. That's usually how we get into these awesome grooves of these deep conversations, is we start with something big that we've had on our minds, and then one of us says something and the other person retorts, and then it just goes down some dumb freaking rabbit holes. And I think that's what's really truly special about good conversation, is when you can,
with good friends, and you kind of know how they'll feel about stuff you're talking to, completely comfortable around, and that's amazing,
yeah absolutely. So that kind of moves on to the next topic. There is what does success mean, and that would be individual thoughts. So success can be defined in many different ways. I think many people look at it differently. I think each person has a different opinion on what it means to them, what they want to do with it. Like, what is that? I guess you could look at it as a goal, as a mindset, as a feeling, as there's so many different ways to define it. My personal belief is, if you're a good person and you can treat people with respect and you can find contentment in tough places, I think you're a pretty successful human being at that point. I don't think it falls down to just how much money you've made or any of that crap, even though money's nice.
I mean, I kind of view it in a different way, whereas like financial freedom would be, of course, the goal to get to, and of course I've never had that in my life, never even been close to it really. And that I feel like you can bring a lot of happiness from financial freedom, because that's such a big stressor. Not being able to fix your vehicle if it breaks down, and of course I've had a lot of that. Yeah. But I mean, if you look at it mentally, I guess, like you're looking at it, really attitude is a big thing. Being able to look at things the right way. Like, now I don't really do that a lot of times, which is tough. Yeah, that kind of just goes back to that mindset thing of how you look at it.
I think if you try and spin a bad situation and I don't want to say use it to your advantage, but try and like look at it in a way that, oh, what am I learning from this, or what have I learned?
Oh yeah, and yeah, being able to look at stuff from a different perspective is very important.
Yeah,
because you can look at other people's problems from the outside, and you'll be able to figure out what the issue is and everything.
Yeah,
like very well.
At least
you can see every aspect of it.
Yeah, you have.
Then looking in on yourself is hard, really hard.
Yeah, like you have both arms and legs. You don't have to squirm around on the ground. It's hard to remember that other people have problems. You're not just the only person on the earth with issues, and so you gotta try. It's hard to remember that, and oh, things could definitely be worse. That's it really is true. Once you I've done that a couple. I've been able to do it only a couple times where I've been in a really tough situation and I've been pissed off or just frustrated, and I've been able to think about it oh, at least I'm not this. At least it's not this way, and all that. It's hard to do, but it does help the situation for sure. And I think that's kind of part of that mindset thing, and I think for me that is the biggest part of success is being able to confidently and calmly navigate tough situations.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and you can usually get a better outcome depending how you go into those kind of situations. Asshole at work, it's usually your boss, almost always.
Yeah.
I've had very few good bosses, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah. I mean, and you look at people like that who are in a place that most people would generally regard as a highly respectable position, right? Like a boss.
Yeah, and that's always your goal going into a job too.
But then when you see people like that,
yeah.
I don't know, do you think that you when you look at somebody like that, do you see them as successful? Because I don't personally, but
a lot of those people who are just very, very mean, and they're kind of in a place of power now, so then they
kind of lose that,
they force it on you, and they're just, it's kind of like a power complex where they get up there and then they're just assholes after that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're not successful, they're miserable, I guess, or just they've been down in the trenches so long that the second they get out, they're, I don't know, really.
Yeah, ready to impose all the power. Yeah, you and I have had to deal with this one same guy that's a huge douche about everything. He works in the bottom of the hospital in the shipping area, but he thinks he's a surgeon. And we're not going to name names, but
he acts like, he's gone to medical school for 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, he might be able to rub the surgeon's foot, but he doesn't. All he does is ship things in and out, and he treats people like they're the scum of the earth, like a doctor would treat a nurse in a bad situation, And it, to me, I'm he dresses like he's successful, he walks around like he is, he acts like he is, but in all reality, when you treat somebody like that, you immediately lose. The respect bar for me goes all the way down almost.
Oh yeah, no respect there.
Yeah,
and obviously people like that, they're craving that, but they're going about it the wrong way. And I mean, really, you just got to be a good person to be respected. Mm-hmm. Treat people right, and then they'll respect you. To be successful. That's how it goes,
Yeah, to be successful, you got to be. I think you have to try and be the best person you can be. You're never going to be perfect. You got to realize that, and then be able to calmly and confidently navigate tough situations in a respectable way, and treat people with respect. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is everybody's got problems, like we were just saying, right? Our issues might not be the same as someone else's, right? Maybe they're tougher compared to some people, but maybe not. And it's all about perspective. But anyway, you got to remember that with people. Everybody's got something going on, negatively, and so you got to try and understand the person, what they need, and how you can be helpful. And I understand that sometimes you have to try and figure out what's going on and be stern and try and manage a situation, but I think there's a way to go about it that's respectable and
Oh yeah, I
love-
mean
in a
everybody's
loving way.
got their issues going on, whether it's their spouse or whatever. Or
Yeah.
maybe something's not going right in their life, and then they're having a bad day. I mean, I don't always consider that an excuse to be mean to everybody around you. Of course, I've had my moments. Everybody has, but
Yeah.
that's just how it goes. And it's you should really, if you are like in a situation where somebody's being really rude to you or whatever, just think, oh, what's going on in this guy's life? You know,
Mhm.
what's he got going on that's making him like this?
Yeah.
Not that there's always always is something. Maybe they're just like that.
Mm-hmm.
We know plenty of people that are just
just
like that all the
they
time.
just want to live that way and
Yeah.
whatever. You don't have to, you know.
And that's gotta be the most miserable way to live, you know.
Yeah, you got to rise above.
Yeah.
Got to rise above that mindset and realize that life is truly what you make it. And there are circumstances, but I think you can. I don't know. I think there's ways to mitigate.
Oh
that
yeah,
kind of
very.
stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, the road is a perfect example of that. Where, you know, I've had like rough days where I'm super tired and whatnot, and then maybe I, you know, cut somebody off accidentally or whatever, and then they're
Road
pissed at
rage.
me. But then somebody does it to me when I'm on a good day and I'm paying attention to the road and stuff, and then I get pissed at them. I'm getting a lot better about that nowadays, but yeah, that's a perfect example of that. And you know, you're out on the road all the time, so something's bound to happen. You know, you're bound to cut somebody off accidentally, so nobody's perfect in that front, and you know how that goes.
Did I tell you about? It's kind of like road rage situation, but I wasn't driving. Did I tell you about when we were at the CrossFit gym and I was running across and
No.
so some guy that we both know, he was driving down the alleyway and I was running for CrossFit across the alleyway and he stopped and honked at me friendly and I didn't realize that. I thought it was during the height of tourist season, which here in Wyoming can get pretty rough.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, man, this guy's an idiot. So I stopped and I gave him the bird. and then he rolled down the window and stuck his head out. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I know that guy. I felt so bad. So then I ended up calling him up after we were done and apologizing. And I felt terrible. But yeah, I let my emotions rule that one for sure.
That is a hard part in a small town where you have to deal with that. You got to be really careful on
what you say,
what you do, what you say.
what you do. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Because everybody's watching.
Yeah, I had this guy when in elementary school, and he kind of bullied me. It wasn't that bad, but like because I was a lot smaller than everybody else, he'd like pick me up and shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that much.
Yeah.
But like years and years later, I'm in the Walmart parking lot here, and we're having some conversation about how like what bullies we had and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, this guy's name, this guy, he was my bully when I was a kid. And I turn around and he's fucking right behind me. He heard the whole fucking thing. Like I can't, what are the fucking odds of that, you know?
Did he say anything about it? Like, oh, I'm sorry, I treated you that way.
No, and of course I use his first and last name when I was talking about him.
Well, yeah.
And I turned around, he's just like fucking right behind me, dude.
Yeah.
Of course we haven't had a relationship. Like I don't know him nowadays or anything. I didn't know him then.
Yeah.
As good as I did in elementary school, but yeah, just small town things where you gotta be really careful about that stuff, or who you're starting beefs with, you know, because you'll just see them around, you know.
That's why I always thought would be fun about living in the city is you can be an asshole to anybody that you see, and you don't have to worry about it. You're never gonna see him again.
I mean, that's probably the problem with those cities, though. You know?
Well, that's why everyone down there. Well, I'm not gonna say that's why everyone down there, but I think people feel more comfortable being a huge prick down in big cities because they're like, oh, I'm never gonna see this person again. It doesn't matter. Like,
oh yeah,
like it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But
it would be nice. Like, I mean, yeah, you really got to be careful how you present yourself too, because like reputation is a huge thing here.
Yeah.
And in any small town.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
getting jobs, like if you need to get a new job.
If you burn any bridges, it could burn a bunch of other bridges. If you just
Exactly.
burn one, you know,
Yep.
it could burn other ones for you. It could spread just because everybody knows everybody. And
Yeah. But that's also like the beauty of it too, though, is like
keeps
a lot of
people
connections.
accountable. you know?
That people are inclined to be friendly, but also you have connections. You know, like you have. If you lose a job, you can talk to somebody and like,
Oh yeah.
and usually they'll be like, oh yeah, you know, I heard you work pretty good here or whatever, and
Yep.
they'll maybe give you a chance, and maybe you knew them from a long time ago because it's just usually everyone knows everybody. I mean, you don't know everybody, but
Yeah, it can really help or hinder you depending on how you act. And
Exactly,
it does keep
yeah.
people accountable. Of course, there's always bad apples, and that's with everything. But that's just how it goes, you know.
yeah, no, it's great. There's ups and downs to everything, but
Oh yeah.
it's quiet, and our town is an old person town. It's ran by the old
Pretty much,
people.
yeah.
Everything closes down at 8 or 9. I don't think anything's open past that.
No,
Maybe Domino's.
9:30 for one restaurant, and that's the latest.
Yeah,
I guess
so-
you get the fast food places, but they don't count.
Yeah. We live in a pretty, and we just lost our freaking Burger King.
Yeah.
Which I'm not. Again, like not that I went in there a lot, but it was another option, and now we don't have.
Exactly.
We have one less freaking option. Now it's like a lot of the stuff we have is like expensive food. Like you can either get an expensive burger or McDonald's. That's it.
Expensive that fast food or like 20 pizza places, and that's how it goes.
Yeah, we have so many pizza places, dude.
I'm sure every small town's like that where they just have like 10 pizza places no matter what. you know?
Yeah. Pizzas, I don't know. Like it has to be good.
It's just so easy, I guess. I don't know.
Hot take: Domino's is not good. But,
Domino's.
and-
You have to be like blackout drunk to enjoy Domino's. Like,
Yeah.
That's the only way you're gonna enjoy it.
Maybe not even then.
Yeah.
Not
Have you
when,
ever-
not when Pizza Hut's around.
Oh, yeah. Have you ever noticed the pepperoni tastes like wet dog sometimes?
It's weird.
You
Yeah,
ever
it's
felt
like
that? Tasted that?
I don't know if
you
it's just the pepperoni or the pepperoni and the sauce combined, but something is not right with that whole situation.
The seasoning's a little weird too.
Yeah,
even.
on the crust. Yeah. It's just a weird place. I get it.
Yeah.
It's cheap and it's not the worst thing ever. It's better than eating like fucking garbage or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'd rather eat Domino's. But it's not that great, you know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, as a kid, in elementary school, and whenever they have pizza party, of course it was Domino's, and it just I'd have like one piece and be like, all right, I'm full. Not full, but that's good enough for me.
Yeah, it's not good. Yeah, I always avoided it whenever it was available.
Oh, yeah.
Like I no.
And there's some people that swear by it. I don't know who those people are, but
We know a couple, yeah. But they don't. The problem is like the one person we know that loves Domino's doesn't get the pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
He gets the wings. So, yeah, I don't go to Domino's for their pizza or anything for that matter.
I think I might have had their pasta once, and it wasn't too bad.
There you go. That's a picture of success. I remember my buddy, so he, throughout our early years of high school, he worked there at our Domino's here in town, and it was sweet. Like I went, like he was telling me about it, and they have like a rank up system. Like you get pins.
Oh yeah, you're
the
about
better
to.
you do.
You're about to do it.
I was
For a
going
little
to
bit,
for a while, yeah. And that, you get like pins for the better you do, and like it's it's actually a good company. They take really good care of their employees. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean they're everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
everywhere.
You wanted to find success. Just picture Domino's.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that they got going on.
Oh yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I would consider, like, this is going to sound really arrogant, but I would consider myself successful because, like,
Yeah, you got a cool wife now, and
married
you're building
now,
up your life, dude. That's
building
how
up
it
a
goes.
life. I'm happy. You got to be happy with whatever you can, find happiness in. You like the struggle, all of it. Where I'm at, it's like, I consider myself successful. I don't have everything in the world. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I still struggle from time to time, and I'm not perfect, but I'm like happy at, we were talking about this yesterday. We had a bunch of friends over to another friend's house, and we were going over like, oh, what does happiness mean? What is success? We were kind of just talking about this stuff, just off the cuff, and everybody was kind of like, yeah, I think it's just about your mindset, and like you can be happy with little, you don't have to have everything. But
oh yeah,
like you said, I mean, it's definitely true that
it takes a lot of stress off you, and stress it's hard on you, I mean, stress can fucking kill you eventually,
Well, that's what it does, yeah. That's what it does. I mean, really, and
oh yeah.
But so like,
yeah, I don't believe that money can buy happiness, but it can.
It
gives you more room
to
be happy,
It makes things easier.
Oh, yeah.
I will agree with that. Like, I definitely don't base myself on money. Like,
not that I've really experienced that side of it, I guess, to be honest. But
no, but we've been lucky enough to have like we're we have people in our lives that are willing to help. If we ever needed it.
Oh yeah.
So we have that. And we true struggle is like when you got nobody and nothing, and that's.
Oh yeah.
And you're really down at that point. And I'm not saying that our lives aren't tough sometimes, but like we've been fortunate and definitely real thankful to have everybody that we do. For
I wouldn't say that's somebody that has millions and millions of dollars that doesn't have rough times too, because of course they do as well.
Well, and actually, like mentally, those people are usually the most unhappy people around.
Yep. I think maybe if you luck into it though, you have a better chance.
They just need to golf more. That's their problem.
Oh, they golf quite a bit,
Drink more, golf more, and fish more, and they'd be good to go.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's not. We were explaining this because I just left a job with had a lot of free time in the middle between each. It's kind of interesting the way it was set up. It's hard to explain, but anyway, I had a lot of free time to think, and of course, a lot of that time was during the middle of the week, and you guys are all working. I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
And I kind of just got this really depressing mindset of like, it's all pointless. Like, why am I going to go fishing if there's no one to share it with? I'm not independent like that. Like, I'm not going to want to go do that by myself,
Oh, yeah.
So I just fell into this deep depression. Like, nothing matters. Like, I don't want to do this. I tried to paint. I went and like, I got so bored I would go hit tennis by myself across the court.
Yeah,
I had nothing else to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone else is working. My wife's working. You're working. No one's here. Yeah. Like, and not that I need to be entertained, but yeah, I think there's something to be said about going to do something and like doing sharing it with somebody.
Going with somebody that you trust and are very comfortable with is very. There's just something way better about it. It enhances everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, growing up we were pretty close, but we never, we didn't hang out a whole bunch ever, and then some pretty interesting events brought us pretty close together, and ever since then we've just tried tried a lot of things together. We've been talking about this podcast thing for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And we're finally giving it a shot.
Just mentioning it, like, yeah, it started out with like, we talked for 4 hours now. This is a great conversation of just about like random shit.
Dumb stuff. Like just so dumb. And it's like, you know what? Like,
it's like shit.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Whatever,
that could be something,
Yeah. I think, and I don't claim to know all the answers. I think success is, it's like beauty is that like, the eye of the beholder, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's the same thing with success. Like if that's what you want to do is like make a ton of money and have golf all the time and that's your vision of success, great. Find that.
And honestly, as a human being, you're never going to be completely satisfied no matter where you get.
Yeah.
It's just kind of in our nature I'm not a philosopher or anything. It's just kind of our thoughts on it, but
yeah,
you'll get to a goal and then you'll realize, well, what do I have now?
Yeah, I get.
So you're always setting goals for yourself, and that's the best way to do it, in my opinion. I think.
I think another way to look at it is like each day at a time. I mean, you can be successful each day and unsuccessful. I mean, you can make mistakes or fall back on a problem or whatever. But
I've had many times where I've had a goal to buy something, and I work up to it and buy it, and then it sits there, and you don't use it.
Yeah,
and that's just being a human. Grass is always greener. You're always adapting. I mean, that's how we've gotten to where we are. That's how the humans are always progressing, and that's why. Because once you hit that goal, you're not satisfied with it. You got to go to ever greater heights, pretty much. And that's it.
Yeah. I saw a really interesting. I don't remember who said it, but it's a really good take on failure. Like, don't avoid failure and don't deny it. Accept it and use it to grow. Don't look at failure as failure. Look at it as attempts. That was my first. It was, I remember it was David Goggins. I heard him talking about this.
You don't know me, son?
Yeah. He's crazy, but
oh yeah,
he was talking about like, don't look at failure as just straight up failure and that's it. Like, it's attempts. That's your first attempt. And what did you learn out of that? Now you use that and do your next attempt.
Oh yeah.
And eventually you can reach your goals. It's tough. I mean, and again, there are circumstances. I'm not going to deny that. Like, it's going to be hard for a lot of people to be millionaires. If that's your goal, I think most people are going to be pretty dissatisfied, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. And it is a lot of for a lot of people, it's the ride to that goal is kind of that's what makes them happy, is striving for that goal. And then once you make it and then you don't have anything to do, of course, those people usually set another goal and work towards that.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's a struggle,
Yeah, you got to enjoy the journey of getting there. Like, all these tough times, our annoying jobs that we have now, like, it's not always going to be that way, but I think we can use it to learn and keep growing ourselves. I think humans are really good at, they need challenge,
Oh yeah.
It's hard to get out of
and nowadays your job is your most challenging part, of course, but then we have a lot of the simple, a lot of stuff to help us along, and make us more comfortable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some jobs, but other jobs. I mean, I get it. The workforce is it's rough. I mean, it's a rough ride. It
is. Starting out is horrible.
Yeah. I think once you kind of get established,
the pole is rough.
Yeah. Once you kind of get established, it starts getting a little better, but it still sucks. It's hard to make yourself go do something if you don't really care about it,
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's where the real challenge comes from, is like making yourself like care about it.
Exactly. And a lot of jobs and employers nowadays make it hard to care about what you're doing. Yeah. And maybe that'll change. I don't know.
Have you seen the video of the Waffle House training plate code thing that they had going on?
I don't think so, no.
It's freaking that's the problem right there. Is it's so convoluted. Like, you don't know what you're working for. It's hard to see the whole picture.
You're basically
just there to work for a paycheck. I mean, it depends on what you do, but you see one little minute part of it. Like, let's just take a restaurant, for example. If you're like the busboy or the cook even, you're like one little section of that you can't see above from the boss's position on how the whole thing operates. And I think that's a really good insight to have, because then it gives you a little bit more of like, okay, I get it. Like, this is mine. I want to make this run, I want to make this machine go.
Exactly.
I'm a part of the machine,
Yep. A lot of the time you're just
filling a hole, basically.
You're there to pay for your own bills, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you don't care about what you're doing. You don't care about the end goal of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And you're never going to see that end goal, pretty much. You're just basically lining somebody else's pockets.
Yeah, no, and that's mindset.
That's the hard part. Yeah. And honestly, with how much small businesses get taxed, if that's what you're working for, even, but
starting your own,
you're really not even lining somebody else's pockets. There's so many taxes taken out of it and everything.
Yeah, well, you're still lining. you're paying so that some high level member of Congress can go fly down to Veracruz for a weekend or a week or whatever, and they can stay in the 5-star.
The taxpayer money, and that's how it goes. Or
it's
there's one. Have you ever seen that trooper truck that drives around town?
No.
This thing has really nice rims and tires on it.
Is it that super jacked?
It's like a Ford F-150, but it has big tires on it and nice rims. And for a very long time, I've been wanting to buy rims and tires for my truck. And seeing that truck driving around, it pisses me off every time. Because it's like, I've paid for the rims and tires for that truck. And they're not cheap,
Yeah.
Why does a government vehicle that we're paying for need to have nice rims and tires? I get having new vehicles and having nice ones.
Yeah, to do the job, yeah.
But why does it need to have
so much
nice black rims
so much
on
luxury?
It, dude? Exactly. The rims don't do anything for it.
So the thing about
and they're expensive.
The thing about taxes is that it sucks. Like, it sucks to pay taxes. It is your money, but I mean, if you didn't have to pay them and the government came around and asked you to help pay for roads and stuff, do you see yourself doing that? I don't think I would. And I think it's a good thing that they take them out in a way. But
I mean, it keeps everybody doing it, I guess. And everybody's contributing to that. But
they don't need to have so much.
A lot of the issue is the spending aspect of it. They don't see it as taxpayer money. They see it as, I don't know, just money to blow, pretty much. They gotta.
Yeah. And there is logistical spending, that makes sense. But it's like it's hard to weed out from the BS that they're
exactly, and they overpay for everything pretty much. Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice to have a company that has a government contract, because you could way overcharge them and they're gonna pay it anyways. They don't care. Yeah. And there's lots of instances of that. And here we go. We're talking about political stuff, and we talked about not talking about political anything on here, but
we're not really taking a stand.
No, I mean, it's just frustration.
Everyone doesn't like taxes.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Of course, I haven't done any research on it.
We did get way off topic. We were meant to talk about success, but here we are. We are. That's what I mean. We go down these rabbit holes, and I don't know if they're interesting or not, but that's just kind of what we do, is give our opinions on dumb stuff. Yeah, and we don't know exactly what would help it, of course. If anybody does. We don't have the answers.
No. We like talking about them, though. Trying to figure out if we have answers. Talking about what might help, whatever that may be, if anything. Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, we're not here to try and we're not pseudo-intellectuals trying to give our, this is what we think it should be, and this is how, these are the answers. No, we're just two regular people that are just like going through life too. We have regular jobs. I'd say we both have had quite a bit of hardship in our upbringing and stuff. So I mean, we have normal lives, and we're not from money. Yeah. We're not from money, and we're not from, all that stuff. We're just trying to figure it all out and try and be ourselves. It's not like we've ever lived on the street or anything like that. But speaking of living, that gives us to our last topic. Habitating Mars. Would you do it? It's a little more fun topic, probably. Possibly. Maybe, I don't know. Me, myself? Yeah. That's a big fuck no for me. Well, I don't know, dude, because it could be kind of freaking crazy, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be cool, but a whole new freaking frontier. Oh yeah, that's what it is. I mean, getting on buses. Born too late to explore the Earth, and born too early to explore the space. That's that saying. Well, we're on the way to trying to do some of that. Yeah, but who knows if it'll be within a lifetime? It could be. Definitely could be. I don't know. Like, I want to say that I've always wanted to do it. Like, I've always wanted to. The idea of going to space has never scared me. I've always thought that'd be super interesting, super cool. If they offered
me to go, I would do it 100%. But I don't think I could live there, because
Yeah, that's your new life.
you live. I think it's gonna be like domes. I don't think it's gonna be like the whole
Yeah.
planet's gonna be all of a sudden another Earth. I think it's gonna be like you're gonna live in these little
That's
isolated pockets.
That's exactly the reason why I wouldn't go.
Yeah, and the whole rest of it's just like it's just red desert, and it's cold,
uninhabitable.
And there's nothing out there except you and whatever's in your little dome, and the walkway to get to the other dome to get your groceries. I think that's how it'll be. I don't think it's gonna be like a.
You're not even getting groceries. You're growing your own food up there. I mean, that's the idea, anyways. Who knows if that would be possible? But
yeah,
I just have so many things I enjoy here, like dirt biking and stuff. I don't think
imagine dirt biking on Mars,
dude.
though.
Yeah, that could be a pretty badass dirt
the
bike
whole
track.
thing is like just dunes.
You take like 500 foot jumps because of the gravity there,
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Who knows? That might be pretty cool. It's all desert. That's the best kind of dirt bike riding is in the desert. So
go for there'd be some Martian women there and dirt bike everywhere. Yeah. Freaking sweet. Just have to wear a suit.
Yeah, if you don't mind antennas, those Martian women might be pretty hot. Who knows?
You never know. Yeah, you have to go and find out. I think the scariest thing would be trying to like get in the rocket to take off. Because have you seen those fuckers blow up in the atmosphere?
Well, yeah,
that's crazy.
That's happened.
Well, I know, yeah, with people in it.
People in it.
But like Musk rockets have blown up. I trust Elon Musk, honestly, but I don't think I'd ever get in one of his rockets. Like, especially the reusable ones, it's got to come back down and land safely.
Well, you might if there was
fucking blowing up.
If he had like 10 launches where they're all successful, maybe you'd hop in.
I don't know. 10 is still a pretty low number for me to risk everything.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, that would be quite the experience, though. Like, someday I want to ride in, like, a fighter jet someday,
Yeah,
how attainable that is.
That's not, like, leaving the fucking atmosphere.
No. No. And that's, I mean, they've been
and that's still nuts, riding around in a fighter jet. You see these freaking highly trained people and their G's forcing on them. Like, I didn't realize that was such a big factor. And then I ran into it the other day. I was, like, watching a clip of these dudes that were flying around in it, and then you just see the G's, and they have to do this huffing thing to keep blood to their brain. Yep. And it's like, holy crap.
I mean,
that's nuts.
They have, like, braces they wear on their legs, that squeeze and force the blood back up. Because if you're got those G-forces that's pulling all the blood down to your legs, and that's how you pass out, obviously.
That's crazy. Yeah. You're flying one of the most complicated vehicles ever made by man.
Pretty much.
And you're fucking about to pass out. That's crazy.
And it's even crazier if you think about like back in the 50s and 60s, dude. They're riding in those things. They're just like, it's just like basically a rocket strapped together with some wings on it, and you're flying that around. If you turn too fast, your wings are gonna break off, and that's the idea, or anything like that,
Yeah. Sorry about that. We're back.
Yeah, we had a little interruption.
My sweaty wife walked through the door.
Yeah, it was gross. Ew, gross.
Disgusting. Getting married is terrible. Just kidding. I'm happy. Happier than I've ever been. But yeah, no, as I was saying, I would never. I don't think I might ride in one for like a little bit, like once, but I don't think I'd ever like try and fly one. One of those jets.
Yeah, I've taking like pilot classes and getting the pilot's license always fascinated me. And for a long time, I thought about going to the Air Force and trying that out. But
that goes back to following through on your ideas, right?
Exactly. And of course I didn't. And, I guess that would have been a lot more work, that one.
It's tough.
I'm pretty lazy when it comes to that stuff, but.
It's tough. It's not an easy way to live, but it's a very interesting job, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it would be incredible, really, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess going back to like just I don't know, rickety old jets, shitty. That's cool.
Yeah. Same thing, like you said, basically a rocket on the with wings that flies in our atmosphere. I mean, kind of.
Yeah.
Rockets are, I don't know though, I feel like they're a lot more unpredictable. There's so many factors you got to balance: weight with fuel, with the atmosphere. Like, it's crazy. If you ever watch like those, I'm not a rocket scientist. I have no idea what I'm talking about, but if you ever seen any of those things about it, it's insane what they have to balance, the physics of it all, like trying to get this huge heavy freaking thing,
insane, like electronics and stuff in there. I just couldn't even imagine it.
Yeah, and for like to assume that, I don't know, just like that every single little part of that's gonna go perfectly fine is that's a gamble.
Yep.
I think.
I mean, what was it? The rings on that one rocket that blew up with people in it.
Is that what happened? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was too cold out when they launched it. Like, there's just so many factors that goes into it, where the Earth is positioned, where you're going, the exact time you have to do it. Yeah.
So let alone the trip. I mean, living on Mars would be crazy. You're stuck in one little dome. You can't travel very much. Probably.
Yeah, if you think about like living on an island way out in the middle of the ocean.
That's probably
like where you don't have contact with anybody. But except magnify that by like 5,000 times,
Yeah.
Plus how much crazier that would be.
I wonder if it'd be like one of those things where it is like an actual frontier, like when people moved out to the West and they're basically given plots of land, or if it's going to be like expensive, like, it was $3.1 billion for my plot on
exactly.
Mars,
and think about how many people died on the way out west back in the day.
True.
So it was just like of course people are a lot more conscious about that and about safety and stuff nowadays, but like, I mean, it was just the Wild West back then, and that could be what space would be.
That's kind of what you look at it like is the next frontier.
Exactly.
Type of deal. Like we're traveling out
and
west.
And of course, there's going to be
a
lot of trial and error, and that's what going out west was back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, you go a little too late, and then you're stuck on a pass without any food. You're in
you gotta
blizzard.
Eat your fucking kids. The
dog's looking a little tasty over there. I'm a little hungry.
Oh, that would have been. Yeah. I don't think it'll be anything like that, but just the chances you're taking is freaking insane.
Oh yeah,
and space is like nothing else. I mean, you can if you fall off a boat, you can swim. You can if you can hold yourself up, you can breathe.
Yeah, there's no margin for error, pretty much.
Yeah, and like out in space, like it's like that one part in Interstellar when the guy's like, "Oh, it's just millimeters of metal and then nothing." They'll kill you instantly. It's like, that is crazy. There's for millions of miles is what he says. Like literally, like there's nothing, and you're not. It's crazy. It's an interesting. It's an interesting
it's
ordeal.
Fun to think about. Yeah.
I think I'd enjoy trying it. Like to go there, it would be sweet, like a little round trip deal.
I don't think that's gonna be, and at least not in the early days. Of course, watch all the sci-fi stuff where, they're just traveling around different planets, and
then you could be like Matt Damon, stuck
it's like different countries
trying to grow potatoes there.
That was a true story. You know that?
No. You serious? No. I mean, that would just I don't know. It's an interesting place when you look at pictures of it.
Of course, the early days of everything. Of course, trial and error.
Yeah,
a lot of people end up dying or getting hurt.
Yeah,
that's probably how it's going to be.
The positive of it, though, less people.
Yeah,
a lot less people, and maybe it will be like a Wild West thing where the government's basically giving you for cents on the dollar acres of land.
Yeah,
like they're paying you to go settle out there.
Yeah, the people who would do that first, though, that's pretty noble. Like, you're basically giving up your entire life on Earth.
On Earth, yeah.
To go do that.
Yeah, think about the things that won't be there.
Yeah, there won't be any movie theaters there.
There won't be anything like land. There won't be another thing that I think about is like landmarks. Like you want to go see Niagara Falls or the Grand Canyon. Like, it's gonna take a while for that kind of stuff. They know a little bit about that, right?
But maybe you'll hop in a little rover and drive over to a little red rock out there.
Mount Olympus or whatever it's called. I can't remember what they call it, but it's like
look at this cool red rock. It's a big red rock. It's pretty sweet. This is like our only landmark here.
Yeah.
There's a cool canyon over there a few miles.
It looks like that one, but don't mind that.
That's the one that the scientists said they thought there was water in or something. Of course there isn't. We're here now.
Yeah, there was never water. No, they do have the ice caps, which is crazy.
That is pretty wild.
I remember I watched a video about how they used to think that there was canals on Mars. One quack scientist. I don't know if he's a quack, but crazy freaking scientist.
Well, back in the day, you just didn't fucking know, and you didn't have anything to base it off of. You were just trying to figure that shit out. There was unnaturally made canals that were just dug throughout the whole planet. You just said what you thought pretty much, and then that would be disproven later. But
you'd be
you just have an idea about science. It. That sounds cool. Maybe I'll write a paper on that.
Yeah, like the same video was talking about, like the colonies on Venus, how there were Venusian people who lived up there. Like there were kingdoms, and they had a whole system of living written up for them, and like this is probably how
I guess it was probably pretty cool back then because you could just kind of believe whatever you wanted to at that point.
It's not like you couldn't really, there wasn't much for understanding, that's for sure.
No, yeah, for a long time they didn't think the sun was the center.
Yeah, I think in the later days of habitating Mars would be something if I had like my family...
Yeah, if there's a McDonald's up there and... Yeah, if there's a McDonald's on Mars, maybe I'd be more apt to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'd need a little more than a McDonald's for me, but... Chick-fil-A maybe. If there was a Chick-fil-A, I'd do it.
Mars would probably be like a gas station in the future, probably. Because there's not that much there.
Yeah,
it'd just be a gas
it's like
station.
Death Valley of
the
planet.
Exactly.
You just have to pass through it to get to the other cooler places.
Yeah, you swing in there for some, a burrito or something on your way
Take off.
To wherever.
I don't know, dude. It's very crazy thought to do it, but I just think that, I don't know, like I'm so used to living on Earth that it's like I don't think I could.
Exactly, too much stuff you like here, and if you're one of the first people to go there, you're doing a bunch of work to set it up, and then you're setting up your own food and shit.
Yeah.
If you mess up, then you might not have food.
Yeah,
or
and then
something.
you gotta eat your kids and your dog. And...
Yeah, it'd be like getting stuck up in the mountains again.
Yeah,
like
basically.
In the pioneer days,
Except worse, because there's no chance of finding anything. There's no deer running around up there.
No.
Possible rabbits or roots
exactly.
or any of that nature. You're just kind of fucked. Run out of astronaut ice cream and you're done for.
Yeah, you're one of those the freeze dried.
Freeze dried spaghetti
ice cream
packets.
Sandwiches.
Those are actually really good.
They're pretty good. They're pretty good.
I love those. My mom used to buy those for us for Christmas all the time. Like the Neapolitan ice cream. They're so good though. It's so good. It like melts in your mouth and dissolves.
Oh yeah. Have you ever had freeze dried like Skittles?
No, that sounds horrible.
No, those are good.
Oh,
I gotta say, those are good.
Why not just eat regular mushy, juicy Skittles?
I don't know, they're crunchy. It's something different. It gets stuck in your teeth.
Why not just eat Fruity Pebbles at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. Candy's just kind of weird in general, I guess. But yeah.
Freeze dried candy is just too far off the edge for me.
I don't know why but it tastes different. There's something different about it.
I'll have to try it sometime.
It's pretty good, yeah.
But yeah, so I think that concludes the first installment of our little thing going on here.
Oh yeah.
Thank you to anyone who decided to click on this, and hopefully you didn't get revolted in the first 10 minutes and turn it off. But
yeah, of course, yeah. Trying something new out, so it's trial and error, like we were saying. Some people might die or get hurt.
Yeah, we might have to eat a couple kids along the way. But...
In the beginning, some group of pioneers might get stuck in the mountains. I guess that might be us, but
yeah, I think I'd rather be trying a podcast out than get freeze to death in a fucking mountain with trying to eat your friends.
Yeah, you drink the wrong water and you die.
Well, I think we live in it's almost as hard as starting a new podcast, but
trying to make it to Oregon, that was almost as hard, if they could only come now, they wouldn't be able to survive,
Yeah, they would never know what to do with a computer or podcast or anything.
You pick up a smartphone, they might just die right there, who knows?
Yeah, no kidding. But anyways, thank you guys, and
thank you so much.
Hopefully See you soon.
Yeah, we might try to do this in the weekly installments. We got to figure out our model, though. That's one of the things we're thinking about.
Yeah, it's going to be a rocky start, but we're definitely going to try and see if we can find some bearings and give it a shot. So.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much for listening, and this has been...
The Real Original
Podcast.
Or whatever you want to call it.
Two idiots. I don't know. Something. Two fuckheads.
All right. We'll see you guys.
All right.